YouTube, one two parts here, and today I'm just here to tell you that WWDC 13 has been revealed. The date has been announced, I should say, by Apple. So what can we expect this year? Well, from everything I've seen, we're going to see some big change to iOS. In fact, there was a rumour that there was a delay on the new iOS 7 of course, and people said that this would only happen if Apple was finally making some major changes and improvements to the iPhone. So of course the iPhone, it's looked the same for the last 5-6 years, and everyone's looking for change, looking for more customization like Android gives, and they're looking for a more modern design. So of course you have the Windows Live tiles, which is nice and modern. Then on Android you have live wallpapers and animations and this, that and the other all over the place. Now, of course, where the iPhone stands up currently is still in the app ecosystem. Apple still has the best app store out there, but Google Play is slowly catching up because more people are switching from Apple to Android due to this issue, which is the lack of customization. A few other things this year that we can expect is a Retina display version of the MacBook Air. So, of course, MacBook Air currently has a 1366 by 768 resolution display in the 11-inch model, and the 13-inch model is 1440 by 900. Now, those were really high resolution displays for the sort of screen that you can get. So, of course, an 11-inch MacBook Air has the same resolution as a general 15-inch laptop, and the MacBook Air 13-inch has the same resolution as a typical 17-inch laptop. So they were really good displays at the time, and they had about 135 ppi, which is even more than the iPad for the Retina display. But now it's the only MacBook that doesn't have a Retina display option, because there's two MacBook Pros that have it, and of course MacBook Air should catch up. And of course with the current resolutions, they are actually higher than 1080p, so Apple doesn't need to worry about 1080p on the MacBooks, but they do need to worry about 1080p on the iPhone, because it still does not exist. The iPhone is 640p currently, which isn't very high resolution. Of course, it is high resolution in terms of it looking good. It's got 326 ppi, and that's very reasonable. But of course, people just prefer 1080p because of course a high number is a high number at the end of the day. It's how everyone sees it. So, of course, with more than 460 ppi in the HTC One, and the Galaxy S4, of course, has about 440, and so does the Sony Xperia Z. It is about time that the iPhone got hold of 1920 by 1080 as well, or maybe it could have the same 2048 by 1536 as the iPad to blow everyone away. Although I doubt that would happen, 1536p, but it'd be quite interesting if it did happen. But of course, you've got to be careful. Adding a red display adds compromise. The phone will have to be heavier, and you'll have to put bigger battery in, which means longer charging times, and it might not even last as long. So of course the iPad 3 was heavier and thicker than the iPad 2, and the battery didn't get worse, it just you had to get a more powerful charger to charge it quicker. So, but Apple could do it, because if they can make an iPhone with a Retina display that's 7.6mm thin, then I'm sure they can add a 1080p display and make it no thicker than the iPhone 4 and 4S. And I wouldn't even mind if it got thicker, because it's nice to have a weighty, thick phone that's good to hold. So this is all, and of course they might add a 13 megapixel camera, and what everyone's praying for is the A7 chip, which is rumoured to be about 1.4 GHz and quad core. Of course, the Galaxy S4 is octo-core, but at the moment, iOS is so sort of simple that the apps, they hardly even take advantage of the dual-core. So adding quad-core would mean that Apple would have to make iOS better to take advantage of it, otherwise they're just adding features that aren't really going to get their share and usability in the phone. So of course, Android is quad-core, because you have a lot of customization, and obviously you have a lot of stuff going on in the background, like the live wallpapers, this, that and the other, so it needs to be quad-core. but iOS hardly takes advantage of dual core, which shows how basic it is and it finally needs an upgrade. Now with Johnny Ive now running the phone software and customization and design, it could be significant changes, and I'm really hoping for them. What would you like to see in iOS 7 and the iPhone 5 and the new MacBooks? Leave a comment below. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.